Another term you might have heard floating around recently in regard to positive cash flow is co-living. Now, in actual fact, it's not a new term at all. It's a very old term. Those of you around my vintage might have been in rental properties at one time or another where you shared the property with other people and you rented it and had a room each and you shared the rent. That's co-living, and you shared a different common area together. In most cases, they were still just traditional houses and they weren't separated into separate living spaces. Co-living in most cases today is where it's multiple living spaces. In some cases, you can have your own kitchen and your own dining area, but in most cases, you are really just having separate bedrooms under one house and then paying individual rents. So you've got a separate lease and a property manager looks after that, but you are sharing a common space. In most cases, these are still old houses that you've got to do a renovation on. And what's the challenge with that? The cost of old houses has gone up substantially. The cost of doing renovations, if you don't have the skill to do it yourself, is substantial. If you're going to go and get subcontractors, cost of materials is very, very high. So there's still a big input, and the thing you got to question is if you're buying a house for $800,000, which is pretty much your entry point for most capital cities, and then you've got to spend another $200,000, is it worth converting an old house to get a higher rental return? Or at that price point, would it be better just going and getting something built that's specific to increase cash flow and is new, so you can at least maximize deductions as well? Co-living is a good idea, especially when price points were lower and you could get a house for $500,000 and maybe rent it by the room and get an 8% yield. Still possible, getting much harder, still worth considering if you don't have the borrowing power up around $1 million and you got the skill to do some of the work yourself.